been asked to speak about the image and the city and how we can image our cities and how we can learn from images about our city. So this is a picture I took of Los Angeles about 3 years ago with a digital camera from a helicopter. And what the still image, and I work in the still image, and what it still tells us is that we can read it, we can find value in reading this landscape. We can see that in this city, Los Angeles, the suburb is an important part of the city. It's a value. It's having the lawn, the garage, the car in the garage. The freeways to service that suburb is also an important part of the city, so we can read that into the city. But also in the background, if you look, you can see that the high-rises. And in those high-rises, there's another value equation. It's the tallest buildings in the city. They're the financial centers, and they're the corporate centers. And that speaks to capitalism and what we find important. If I was to transport myself back 200 to 300 years ago, it would be the state building and the courts. That would be the large buildings in the city. Or if I went back to medieval times, it would be the church spire, which was the value of the cities at that time. So cities do tell us what it is that this society finds is important. But with digital and the advent of digital, there's many new ways we can look at the city. This is imaging a city, again, with huge files, gigapixel files. They're 5 Canon 5Ds. And what's happening is that it's hanging a node off of a helicopter and shooting Seattle at certain points with the GPS and stitching it all together. So you can, with an iPhone application, go from an aerial view and look at the city as you're moving through it and get a complete view of the city. And this is certainly useful to be able to capture where a city is at any given time. This is one of the best three-dimensional modelings of cities that's happening in Germany right now. And what you're seeing here is the actual city. You're looking at a wireframe with the texture of the city being mapped onto all of these buildings. And what this is going to allow is in the future, rather than having a line when you're navigating with your car, you may actually be as it's being seen through the windshield. With the advent of broadband and the ability to be able to download this information and to be able to use it as you need it is going to become something in the future where we're going to be absolutely using it for all types of things, from real estate to designing cities. And then this is another type of a way to quickly capture the three-dimensionality of a city. And this is a sonar or a radar that is picking up the actual three-dimensionality of the city and rendering it into a file. And then also you can see that it's got a camera, and the camera is then mapping onto the three dimensions. So this is something developed by the military, but you can quickly go along a city and pick up the full dimension of the city, and it's called LiDAR imaging. And again, it's a very powerful way to quickly render the three-dimensionality of a city. And then, of course, sustainability. If we look at cities, they consume 40% of our energy. So just to give it a comparison, all SUVs in North America, if they were taken off the road, would only constitute 3% of our energy. So there's a lot of low-hanging fruit in imaging and being able to understand imaging and using that technology to find out where heat loss is. This is looking in London, looking across the Thames. But you can also see it's very accurate. You can see the people walking across the bridge. The white bits that you're seeing are people wearing very good thermal underwear. 98% of our cities are basically built out, and then we only maybe add 1% to 2%. So all of that existing inventory can be reskinned and to be more energy efficient. This is a project in Paris, and it's now become an energy efficient building, plus added a beautiful attraction to the waterfront. I've also done a lot of work in China. China is the fastest urbanization on the planet. In the next, this is Shanghai, in the next 10 years, they're expecting 300 million people to transition into the cities. This is an old section of Shanghai that's still going to be developed, and it hasn't been developed yet. And this is what the developed Shanghai looks like. Again, not very energy efficient. And if we look at this image here, why I took this image is every window has an air conditioner. So these high-rises in Hong Kong are being serviced by small window shaker units, and obviously not the most efficient way to cool a tower like that. And this is going to show you something that's just recently happened. This happened in December. So what we're looking at is a very high-efficiency building. It's a LEED certified building. It's going up in central China. It's all been prefab. It's working to about a 2-millimeter tolerance. The energy efficiency of this, it's got 4 pane glass windows. And what's amazing is that you're looking at a clock on the bottom underneath that. That is the hours. They built a 30-story tower, fully energy efficient, in 360 hours, or 15 days. And this may be the future of building our cities. And we can all imagine, we've seen how long it takes us to build buildings, so this will put us to shame. So this is quite remarkable. I just came across this in the last 3 weeks, and I thought it would be a fantastic thing to witness this tower being built in 360 hours. So thank you very much.